Let's make it a good day.
Today on The Jason Show, Daytime Divas. Two rookie talk show hosts get some good news, while reports say one veteran could be on her way out. Plus, game day eats. With playoff football only days away, the Cooking Mom is back with 2 recipes you'll want to make this weekend. And, hello, Wisconsin! Again, stars of That 70s Show are back in a new decade. We're talking live to Kitty Foreman herself, actress Deborah Jo Rupp.
Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah.
Happy Thursday!
We have got a crowd today.
We do! Look at that!
We're sitting next to each other. I can barely hear you over this crowd.
What?
What?
What was that?
Sorry?
What was that? We got a good-looking crowd today. Say hello to our
Absolutely.
audience. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Thanks everybody for being here.
Great.
Man.
I love it. I love it. I
Yes.
mean, we had so much fun yesterday with Jeannie. I'm not going to lie. She was a hoot and a half. But it is
Yes,
so
she
nice
was.
to hear all of you here today. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
It's a great crowd.
We made it.
Enthusiasm. I love it.
We've made it.
Yes.
Okay, so Pierre.
Yes.
Last night, something happened to you. You experienced something that I feel is a pivotal moment, is a thing that should happen to every individual at least once in life, and that was?
It's not what you're thinking probably at home. No, it's no. For the very first time I saw Lord of the Rings. I'd never seen Lord of the Rings up until and I saw the first one. Don't worry, I haven't finished the whole series yet. That
would've taken all
if
night.
I would have done all that, I would have walked out of the theater and then walked onto the set. I mean, because it's 3 long movies and stuff like that. But Fellowship of the
Their
Ring.
cinema.
Yes. Great movie. Really enjoyed myself for the first time. And I was lucky for the first time seeing it, I got to experience it in the theater. Because that movie came out in what, 2001? Something
oh gosh,
like that?
a long time ago.
So
yes,
it's been a long
around
time.
then. Yes.
Very enjoyable movie.
So you liked it.
Yes, I did. Yeah, thank you so much.
Good.
Thank you so much. Yes.
These are some of my favorite movies of all time. I've been
Yeah.
open.
Yes.
Jason and I talk about this. I'm a sword fighting nerd.
Okay.
And Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring,
Yep.
introduced me to my sword fighting nerddom.
And you were telling me a moment ago that the Two Towers, the next one in the series,
The next one.
that's
is my
your favorite in the series.
because the fight scene that they have at the Battle for Helm's Deep.
Okay.
Which I remember the name of the fight.
Okay.
It is like 45 to 70 minutes, depending on which version you're watching, of epic sword fighting.
Wow.
Yes.
Consistently?
Well, if you're watching the extended version, it's more sword fighting.
Just more. So you needed that extra 10 to 15 minutes. of sword
Legolas,
fighting.
like literally, I'm not gonna give anything away,
Okay.
so cover your ears, but he like snowboards down some steps on top of this piece of armor and like cuts off orc heads on the way and like fires arrows the whole time. It is epic.
I don't know how I can wait. I mean, I got to see it today. Once I'm done here at work, I'm going to be seeing Two Towers right when we're done.
Did I lose the audience there or did I gain you? Okay, great. I appreciate that.
We got a thumbs up in the front row. Yes, that's
Thank
good.
you,
All right,
thank
good.
you.
I'm glad.
Well, I'm really happy for you.
Thank you so much. It's great to be part of this group now, and I'll be finished with the movies.
You had strong feelings about Bilbo Baggins, though, and how he just isn't really a part of this
What
movie.
a scumbag. I mean, like, seriously, like, oh, Frodo's walking around and he's like, hey, I have had your ring. He's like, are you kidding me? Frodo, with everything he experienced, and now he's going up to Bilbo like, hey, man, great to see you. I would have thrown a right hook right in that guy's face. I had, like, faux Dementors chasing me for the last hour and a half.
Faux
Are you
Dementors. Now we're
kidding me?
getting Harry Potter references. in
Whatever.
there with
It's
Lord
all
of
the same thing.
Rings.
Yeah.
It's great. I think your exact words were something about Riverdale and Bilbo Baggins. How dare he sit there drinking a Mai Tai in Riverdale?
Yeah, that's what he was
pretty great.
doing for an hour and a half while Frodo's getting chased by faux Dementors. The
Faux Dementors.
Yeah.
Okay. For all of you who have no idea what's
I'm getting
happening
a head shake over there. Like, what? Yeah, I know.
Don't worry, we'll talk about like Hollywood stuff too.
Please stay with our show. We still have 55 more minutes to go.
we
We
should
got a lot more to
probably
talk about. Yeah, no, trust me.
Time for that,
I'm not going to fill up on this right now because I know we're going to be having food later.
Leo, who, by the way, is one pair of Taco John's sweatpants richer this morning.
Yes.
If you have no idea what I'm talking about, go to our Facebook page, The
Yes.
Jason Show Before the Show. Director Leo opens an epic Christmas
You
present.
will not be disappointed, I promise you.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, on to the hot dish.
Yes.
Filling the shoes of Wendy Williams was not an easy task, but it appears the suits are pleased with Sherri Shepherd's first year. Sherri has been renewed for 2 more seasons.
Okay.
That show is reportedly the #1 nationally syndicated daytime talk show. Sherri took over for Wendy this past fall following Wendy's health problems. Now, also renewed, Jennifer Hudson's talk show. That show has been renewed for a 2nd season. So good on both of those ladies. They're both on Fox. You can catch them here. Meanwhile, it may not be good news for another talk show. According to Page 6, Rachel Ray could be done with her show. The show has been a daytime staple for 17 seasons. Now, representatives for the show put cold water on this, saying, hey, talk of cancellation comes up every year.
Yeah.
That's not the case this year. We usually find out in March, is what they're allegedly saying. I wouldn't be super surprised if Rachel Ray doesn't
Really?
come back. Yeah, she took a way longer time to come back into studio than other talk shows chose to
Okay.
during COVID. And hey, you do whatever is right for you and your cast
Sure.
and crew, everyone like that. But I think that when it took her so much longer to come back in and get that energy back, because there's nothing like in studio energy. It took a while. I mean,
Exactly,
listen,
right? Yes, absolutely.
I think it just, people are like, we have other options now.
You know,
you guys were right on cue. That was
Yeah,
excellent.
very well done.
Thank you.
Very well done
Thank you.
indeed. I was never a consistent viewer of Rachel Ray's show, nor was I of Oprah. But I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying it's just been around. Yes,
Oprah to
I'm not doing. I'm
anyone
just
in
saying.
this building.
But I'm saying like just the thought of Rachel Ray not being on TV anymore. I was like, what? She's been on TV forever. How do we not have Rachel Ray on TV?
Well, allegedly she'll be back.
Well.
Allegedly she won't. We'll see who wins.
Leave you in limbo and suspense. All right, next in the dish, the end of an era is near. In a month and a half, Meredith will bid farewell to Grey's Anatomy. ABC just released a teaser. I know. Get the tissues.
This is where I learned to be a doctor. This is the place where I found my family, the place where I fell in love.
There's no one like her.
Sometimes change is good.
Big last day.
Sometimes change is everything. You know I'll probably be here next week.
You just let us toast you.
Wow. Ellen Pompeo has played Meredith Grey for 19 seasons, and her character will leave Seattle for Boston. Her final episode is February 23rd. I cannot believe that show is still on I thought this was only reserved for like soap operas, and The Simpsons were the only things on TV that could just go on forever.
I know.
Are they going to still call it Grey's Anatomy if she's off the show?
I don't know what else they're going to call it. Like, that's the whole thing. By the way, Erin Schwab is still crying in the corner. Somebody go find out if she's going to be
Yeah,
okay.
goodness. I mean,
She's
seriously,
like
are you
actually
okay?
teared up when we were playing that clip.
Are you a viewer of the show?
I used to watch the show, so
Okay.
I stopped watching, spoiler alert, for a very old show that's been around for 19 seasons.
Right.
But there was a plane crash around, I don't know, season 7 was it, Aaron, when like all these people died, and I was like, I can't deal with this death anymore.
Man,
It's too much for me.
I've never seen a single episode
Well,
of Grey's Anatomy. Not one. I've never seen one single
Not even
episode.
like in the beginning?
Nope, never seen one episode of it.
When it was smashed between Desperate Housewives and that one family show that was really good, but they got kicked off the air.
No, just never got around to it.
Well, that's too bad for you. I think a lot of people stopped. I got back in,
Okay.
and then when Sandra Oh left, then I really stopped.
Okay,
But I know there are a lot of diehards still, so we will see what happens
good for you guys.
once she's gone.
Yeah.
Good on all of you. That should be your next thing to explore.
Yeah,
First,
oh.
Lord of the Rings, then Grey's Anatomy.
I mean, how much time do you think I have on my hands these days?
Pierre, I feel like you have a lot of time on your hands.
Well, a little bit from time to time.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Next in the dish, fans of Desperate Housewives, speaking of Grey's,
Mm-hmm.
came out at the same time, odd, are freaking out a bit this morning. There's a mini Housewives reunion on Monday night's episode of Fantasy Island. What are we talking about? Well, Terry Hatcher and Chanhasen's own, of course you'd put that in there, Ted, James Denton visit the island to find clarity on their next chapter. It's not their first time reunited on camera. You may remember they appeared in a Hallmark Christmas movie back in 2021. This episode of Fantasy Island that we're talking about, by the way, airs Monday night on Fox. So, if you're not
Yes.
familiar with this show, Fantasy Island is the concept is people can come here and any of their wildest dreams happen. So,
Okay.
for example, I want to know that my cat loves me, then your cat turns into a human. So it's
What?
this interesting concept where you come to the island and actual magic happens.
Really?
Right, so they have these great celebrities like that come on
Okay.
for an episode or two. This one being that those two who were together in Desperate Housewives have been married for 35 years and now have to come and make some wish come true on Fantasy Island.
I know everybody's going to remember Terry Hatcher from Desperate Housewives, but I am old enough to remember Terry Hatcher when she was in Lois and Clark. To say yes, thank you, Jeff. The Superman series with Dean Cain back in the day. Oh man, bring that one back, please.
I'm gonna need help.
Are you though?
Yeah.
Superman.
Sorry.
Who doesn't love Superman?
Well, no, I get Superman, but
Oh, yeah.
thank you for referencing the man
Yeah.
who flies with the cape with the glasses. I appreciate
red
that.
cape, you know, big S on his chest. That guy.
Okay, so who did she play?
She played Lois Lane.
Oh my God,
Sorry.
okay.
Yeah. I mean, what else? What else
like-
would Terry Hatcher play? Lois Lane.
Hide behind
Absolutely.
these. Good Lord.
Phenomenal.
Okay.
We'll get, okay, now you, okay, I'll watch Grey's Anatomy. You watch Lois and Clark. How about
Or
that?
not.
Make it a deal?
No.
I think a deal is coming up. All right, lots more to come, everybody. We'll be right back right after this. Lois and Clark. So good. Yes.
Hi.
Man. I gotta tell you, this crowd is keeping me going today. I woke up today, I was a little tired this morning when I woke up, but this crowd is keeping me going.
Well, his mind is a little overwhelmed because
Yes.
he's like, what's the difference between an orc and an elf? Are they just old elves? See,
still
we're back to Lord of the Rings.
processing Lord of the Rings, yeah.
Sorry, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Janelle Monáe was on with Colbert last night. She chatted about coming out of the pandemic and reintegrating into society again, like a lot of us had to do. And that is our late night rewind.
How's re-entry been for you? Have you enjoyed seeing humans?
You know, I will say I was a little awkward reintegrating. I don't know about you, but like I had a little anxiety. I was quiet. I was like, oh God, let me just say, okay, listen, I know we're in this meeting, but I'm awkward. Don't stare at me too long. You know, haven't been around people. Even when we were shooting the film, I had to just kind of tell everybody like, I'm just reintegrating. You know,
Well,
be
there are
patient.
times when I'd like to put myself on mute.
Same.
Yeah, just turn off my camera. I'll be in the meeting with you, but I like
Right.
the feeling that I could just disappear. Yeah,
And I love
especially
the
if I had to
feeling.
go to the bathroom. People would know I left the meeting.
And I love the feeling of like you can put your suit jacket on at the top and be completely nude down here. Nobody would know because you're on Zoom. You know?
Completely nude is further than I went, but
You know? I mean,
I respect that.
You do, Janelle. You do, you. Janelle, by the way, is in the Knives Out sequel, Glass Onion, which you said you loved.
I did. It was very good. I enjoyed it very much. But much like Knives Out, I figured out who the killer was halfway through the movie.
Well, don't give him anything away.
I'm not. I'm just saying I figured it out quickly.
Well, I mean,
kind of. Addie's giving me like the eyes because her and I saw it together. She's like, okay,
You
you got
didn't
it,
get
but
it
kind
that
of like
quickly.
a roundabout kind of way.
Did you get it like right before they announced it? Like, it's
No.
Patricia. There's Patricia.
Yeah, the main character, Patricia the murderer. Yeah.
never know.
Yeah, that's true. I
Never
mean, I
know.
guess you never know. That's right.
Our hot dish continues with our insider to the star.
Please welcome from the Hollywood Raw podcast, Dax Holt, everybody. Dax, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. How are you guys doing?
We're doing very well. Thanks again for being with us. You dove into the Prince Harry drama with a royal expert. What did she have to say?
Yeah, this was a fun episode because, I mean, I feel like the world is divided on the royal news, you know, with Prince Harry and him putting out his book Spare. So like you said, we had a royal expert on. Her name is Kinsey Schofield. She reports on all topics royal. She's been doing it for years and years and years. So we brought her on just to say, let's talk about all of this. You know, like, is this Prince Harry news, is it really ruining the legacy of the royals? And whether or not King Charles, Prince William, are they going to even pick up the book? So we jumped into all the insights that she had about the royal family. The podcast itself was a little divided because I tend to still really like Harry and Meghan, and I think that there has been a lot of misinformation put out there, and she would battle that with her side and her feelings. So it was a really interesting discussion, I must say.
Does she think stuff like this, I mean, this is huge coming from Prince Harry, who arguably so is the most popular member of the royal family until quite recently. Does she think that this could have the potential of ending the royal family as we know it?
No, I don't think it's going to end the royal family. I think there's enough supporters of the royal family, especially in London, that they're good. I just think that it puts a big stain on the family itself. My thoughts here is the best PR move that they could ever do is heal this relationship. I think that if they sat down, worked through all their drama, came back together, the world would embrace that. People love a comeback story,
Yes.
and for a comeback story of a family remending their, their bonds and coming back and, walking out together, that I think would unite a lot of people, and they'd be back in the good graces again.
Dax, I have a very important question to ask you. What exactly makes a royal expert? Can you explain that to me, please?
I think it's someone who lives and breathes all things royal.
Okay.
And we actually got into with her, like, when you're a royal expert, is the palace like leaking you information? And she said,
Right.
Yeah.
and she said, well, listen, I haven't been directly told. However, there's a lot of sources that come to me that you start to trace it back and you start to question if it is coming from directly inside, but they're doing it in a roundabout way so it doesn't look like it's coming from the inside.
Sounds like a side hustle for Kendall if I ever heard one. Yeah.
Dax, I know we have to go, but did you find it really interesting as somebody who spent years in Hollywood and that side of the paparazzi world with this side of paparazzi and how they treat the royal family? Was that really interesting to you?
I think paparazzi in the U.S. is very different from like paparazzi in the U.K. I think they're a lot more aggressive over there. They've been doing it a lot longer, and I think the British royal family it's a target unlike anyone else. You know what I'm saying? Like every move they make, and they have to play into it, which is also different. Like here in the U.S., we don't have a family that's forced to answer questions to the paparazzi or forced to be stalked like that. Well, except I guess the Kardashians, right?
Well,
our
fair.
royal
Our
family.
royalty.
But I would say it's two different ball games.
For sure. Dax, we always appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You can find the Hollywood Raw podcast wherever you get your podcasts. I want to go back to the Janelle Monáe thing very quickly.
Oh, okay.
Just real quick. She said, everybody's experience is different. She's talking about reintegrating herself into society and stuff like that. That was not my experience at all. I was on a plane probably 2 months after COVID started, and I was just like, all right, I'm back to normal. This is fine. I was. Whatever. I mean, it was fine. Listen. Everybody's giving me the eyes.
Everybody.
I followed all the
Literally
rules.
everybody's
There were
giving
all
you the
rules. I
eye.
followed all the rules. Not like I was, it was the Wild Wild West or anything. But at the same time, I was just like, yeah, whatever. I'm back into it.
Okay.
I'm not worried.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Mask up, wash your hands,
Yeah,
do your
fine.
thing, people.
Whatever.
You know?
Moving on.
All right.
That's fine. All right, next in the dish, sad news for fans who are hoping to see a Britney Spears and Beyonce collaboration over here. Beyonce had asked Britney to appear in a music video, but that is not going to happen. Page Six has learned the deal. I know, don't hurt the messenger here. The deal has fallen through. They don't know what happened, but our sources say Beyonce probably looked at Britney's Instagram and changed her mind. Listen, I have peeked in on Britney's Instagram from time to time.
Oh, have you?
I can only go with the information that I see, and I'm just like,
Tell me more about
okay?
Britney's Instagram, because I feel like you've peeped in on Britney's Instagram because there are some lingerie videos
No,
on her Instagram.
no. Listen, I've found out that, our executive producer Lori Fisher, who's a huge Britney Spears fan, you see some of the videos that she's dancing by herself in her home and stuff like that, and I'm just like,
Well, she was basically on house arrest for like a decade. Of course she's dancing in her house by herself.
No, fine. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just, I look at it, I was like, there's something missing here. I am a little concerned. Am I being too, I don't want to be too presumptuous.
No.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm teasing you. You're right. I think we've talked about that a lot on the Jason Show.
Yeah.
I'm sad. I'm saddened to hear this. I love Beyonce. She is my favorite. She's queen of all time. But before her, for me, was Britney as a kid. So to see them together, they've been together since, I think, a Pepsi commercial.
Okay.
With Pink. Did you just ding me because I was right? Because I hope so. I really hope that timer was telling me I'm right.
I hope everybody heard that timer at home. I hope everybody heard that. Because, listen, I understand. I mean, these are two global megastars, and who wouldn't want to see them collaborate and get together? But I mean, I don't know what's going on with Britney, man.
No.
I really don't. What's
know.
going on with her?
We love you, Brit. Come on the show, please.
Hope you're all right. Yeah, hope you're all right.
She's coming, Jeff. I know she will if I just ask really nicely 17 times.
Yeah.
Okay. Next in the dish. Speaking of pop stars, this is, okay, buckle up, stay with me. This
Okay.
story is very interesting and a little
Okay.
confusing. Gwen Stefani is taking some heat this morning following an interview she did with Allure magazine. Now, Gwen is a product of Italian-American parents, but her dad worked for Yamaha and would often share stories with her about Japanese culture because he traveled back and forth there so much during her childhood. During the interview, she said she came to the realization that that influence made her feel Japanese because she's such a fan of the culture and has said multiple times that she's Japanese, even though she's not, genetically speaking. But some, including the writer of the story, who is Asian, took issue with this and called it cultural appropriation. Gwen's people said the writer misunderstood what she was trying to say. So, follow me here.
Okay.
Made sense, right?
Sure,
But
sure.
it's how we just explained it, the story doesn't make sense.
Right, yeah.
But how we were explaining it makes sense to you. So, she, as we all remember, it was the Harajuku girls, yes. She did this about 10 years ago.
Okay.
It was a big thing. She had all these perfumes. She had these women kind of with her all the time.
Okay.
No one really ever talked about it back then, but now she has brought it back up again and said pretty blatantly in this interview, I've been so inspired by this culture, I would go there and think, wow, I am Japanese. And she said it a few times, according to this interviewer and the other people that were in the room, and they were like, okay, but you're not.
But you're not, yeah.
Right. And
No.
so it's really interesting. She really stepped in it. Do I think she literally meant she thinks she is Japanese? No. Do I think it's really inappropriate to tell someone of Asian descent during a time when AAPI hate is so high and on the rise right now? No, I don't think that's appropriate at all. You can't just say that to people and not actually deal with it because you're Italian American. Do you get what I'm saying?
I don't know what's so difficult to say, hey, I love the Japanese culture. I grew up around it, perhaps, so with my dad working for you. I grew up around it a lot. I appreciate so much about it. There's a big difference between saying, I love the culture, I was around it a lot, and I am the culture.
Right.
There's a big difference there.
Exactly. And then to be questioned farther and to kind of keep digging into it instead of saying, oh, wow, I realize how this is coming out. You're right. I'm wrong about this.
Yeah, you know, sorry, Gwen, love you, but I mean.
You're not Japanese,
It's a
and you
big
should probably
difference.
not say that you're Japanese.
No, that probably
Like,
not. No.
Period.
Fascinating culture, by the way. Tokyo, top of my list of cities to visit in the world.
Me too.
Gotta go there. Jason Show trip to Tokyo. How about that?
No big
everybody?
deal.
That'd be a good idea. Yeah, we'll take the
Tokyo,
audience.
Disney, yeah.
There you
We'll
go.
get
Yes.
Jason to go that way.
Yes. Well, yeah,
By the way, the article is on Allure. You can read it. It's actually the author, the writer, journalist, did an excellent job going through that piece and using it as a moment to say, like, this is what cultural appropriation is, and this is what we can do to make sure that it's not happening anymore. So, read it. Give it a read if you're interested.
I saw a sphinx made up of snow here in Minnesota. Is that the same thing?
Where is
that
this
a cultural
going?
appropriation?
Where-
I'm Egyptian, so I was like, should I be upset about that or not? I thought it was kind of
It's
cool,
up to
actually.
you. That's up to you, Pierre.
I don't care. Whatever. Awesome. A sphinx made out of snow. Sounds pretty cool to me.
Give me that spoon.
All right.
We'll be right back. We'll be back.
Get out your scrunchies and jelly sandals. We're going back to the 90s, everybody. The cast of That 70s Show is back with a new generation. We're talking to the stars of that 90s show, including mom, Deborah Jo Rupp. Plus, football food. With the playoffs starting this weekend, the Cooking Mom is back with 2 great recipes, perfect for watching the game. Taco soup and a baked ham and cheese. Sit back and relax. The Jason Show is coming right back.
This applause for you.
I know.
I mean, seriously.
It's for you too, you know.
No. Let's be real.
Actually, to be honest, I think it's actually for the food. This is getting
Yeah,
borderline rude,
Yes,
Amy
I know.
Hinton.
We're going to be getting to Amy in just a moment. I mean, I can smell it already.
The Cooking Mom is
Yeah.
here. Every time she's here, it's like, hello. I can't
Yeah.
even focus on anything. Okay, you had a question for me earlier, and I
Yeah.
thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, before we get to our next guest, I mean, I was born in 1984, but I consider myself a child of the 90s because, you know, that's kind of when I came of age, like Jeff and I were talking about. You were born in 1990, but you also consider yourself a child of the 90s instead of the early aughts. I'm trying to figure out if there's a cutoff or if there's, like, where do we, you know, what's the...
You are cut off. You cannot be
Yeah.
a child of the 90s.
Yeah,
okay?
I mean, come on. But, I mean, well, I'm what do you remember the most about the 90s?
Okay, so I was born in January of 1990, so
Yeah.
I feel like I had a pretty good chunk of time in the 90s,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I remember like at least half of it.
Do you have to be a certain, like, I had, Jeff, what is the cutoff here? I mean, yeah, he's like, don't look at me.
I mean,
What
like,
do I
you know that song, I'm a 90s baby, in my 80s Mercedes. Nope,
don't know that
nobody
song.
listens to
I don't
country
know
music
that-
but me.
yeah, that's true.
Thanks, Addie,
Yeah,
I
Addie,
have
okay,
one.
Addie's
Okay,
getting the
thank
head
you,
nod,
I have
okay.
two, I have three. Three of us
Okay.
know this song.
Audience knows? You know
Okay.
that song? I don't know that song.
So that is how I feel.
Okay.
That is how I feel.
Do you?
Uh-huh.
You are a 90s child then.
I am. I mean,
Okay.
Mary-Kate and Ashley. Jelly sandals. Hair clips that made you look like Princess Leia, the little butterfly clips.
I love
Epic.
I love
What?
how Mary-Kate and Ashley was the first thing that's like, oh, that's what makes you a 90s kid?
That is the 90s. Hello.
I mean,
It takes two, baby.
Wait, I mean,
Sing-alongs with Kendall today.
but wait, no, hold on. Did you watch, were you a Full House viewer though back in the day?
Yes.
You were? Okay.
Yeah.
Mary-Kate.
But like, I think when they'd already been on for a while.
Okay. Okay. We'll
Because Mary-Kate and Ashley are technically
okay,
older than me.
Okay. We'll get back to that in a minute. Yeah.
You really think?
We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome back. Hey, everybody. Sorry. Our next guest is synonymous with the 70s, as in that 70s show. But soon she's jumping ahead to the 90s.
The 90s indeed. Deborah Jo Rupp is back in the spin-off series, That 90s Show. Take a look at this clip.
Hey, Grandma. Hey, Grandpa. Okay, kids, the basement is all yours.
Lights on, shirts on, and no dancing.
No dancing. You're like the guy from Footloose. No dancing, you guys.
That 90s show hits Netflix next week. And ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Deborah Jo Rupp. Deborah, thank you so much for joining us. Deborah, we got to ask you, I mean, this is obviously a change of pace from the 70s to the 90s, but I would imagine it's still a similar type of feel of the show. What stands out to you about doing that 90s show as opposed to that 70s show?
Well, the biggest difference is, of course, the actors that inhabit the basement. That's
Yes.
a big difference. But much of it is the same. It's just 17 years later, and Point Place is Point Place, and the same people still live in the small town, and you will see them all. And I have to say that this is the first time I've seen this clip, so you got a good clip.
Okay.
Good.
I'm
Not
glad.
that they're bad clips, but that didn't sound good. That didn't sound good, but you're special.
Thank you. Okay, Deborah, I have to say, I loved the character of Kitty. I loved that 70s show, but I didn't grow up in the 70s. However, I still felt like I was in on all the jokes. I still felt like I got the culture. Are
Good.
people who maybe are in their early 20s now going to feel that way, do you think, about that 90s show that maybe don't remember the 90s?
Yeah, I think they'll feel the same way. They'll feel the same way.
Yeah.
You know, each decade is unique and different, and the 90s had, I mean, for me, in the 90s, it was a lot of technology. Technology was going really quickly, you know. We had those huge honking computers and the cell phones that were as big as your head,
Yeah.
and, you know, all of that, and it was moving very fast. So yeah, I think people will respond in a very similar way. I mean, it's a period show, so it's, you know, two different decades.
And Deborah, we want to get this right. Your character, Kitty's granddaughter, comes and visits for the summer, and that's how, you know, the show kind of kicks off, and that's really the storyline of this whole thing. How was it interacting, like you said, with some of the new actors and being a part of this storyline?
Well, the great thing is that they seem to, they watch the 70s show because they seem to know who their parents were and, you know, kind of what the relationship was. I do think it's very interesting that Eric and Donna's daughter is named Leia for Princess Leia in Star Wars. So, you know, we deal with that. It was, you know what, it keeps the show alive.
Sure.
The new actors are fantastic, and it keeps it moving forward. 17 years later, everything moves forward, just like life.
Right, absolutely. And you said that all the originals come back. Topher Grace, Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis, Laura Prepon, Wilmer Valderrama, which, by the way, I love the character that he's playing with this hairstylist. Where do you...
Oh my God.
Was
He
that
is
so fun?
funny.
I gotta imagine that was so fun to just get back with all those guys.
It is so fun. And then Wilmer, oh my God, Wilmer does a commercial that you will die from. And then Don Stark, Bob, he sings a song at his daughter's birthday that, oh my, we can't keep a straight face. We can't.
I bet. Well, we cannot wait to see the show. And before we let you go, Deborah, I have to say, as a Seinfeld viewer, I still remember your role as Katie, Jerry's manager on that episode. You were fantastic in it. It was such a great episode. We had a lot of fun watching you on that one as well.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
Deborah Jo Rupp, everybody. Thank you, Deborah. And that 90s show hits Netflix next week. I know you are not a Seinfeld viewer, but that episode where she plays Katie, Jerry's manager, where Jerry she was always up in Jerry's business trying to make sure he was always attended to. He's like, relax.
Calm
it's
down.
Okay, yeah. It's give me a little space here. Don't bother me with every little detail. She's terrific in that episode.
I love it. I'm curious too about this. We didn't get time to talk to her, but this is on Netflix instead of daytime TV.
That's right. Yeah,
so it could be a little bit
yeah.
wilder, a little more exciting. Never know.
Absolutely. As children of the 90s, as we established,
yes,
we're going to be watching
we are
the show.
both children of the
Yeah,
90s.
that's right.
Game Day Eats with the Cookie Mom coming up next. Everybody, stay around. It's like, can they say naughty words? Is it on Netflix?
Maybe. Well, I mean. I'm trying to resist.
He's trying to keep his cool.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back. We're getting close to the NFL playoffs, and there's nothing better than some game day food.
And our next guest is bringing some of her favorite recipes right as the Vikings continue their march to the Super Bowl, everybody.
Give it up for the cooking mom, Amy Hatton.
Hey, guys.
Hi. Okay, before we get started, I just have to give you our condolences, send you our condolences. You are from Green Bay. I'm sorry.
It was rough. I'm not going to lie. That game was horrible.
Easy now.
But you know what? I'm going to be watching, and total honesty, who am I going to cheer for now? The Vikings.
Thank you. I believe in this. If you got to cheer for somebody, you might as well cheer for the North.
Yes, and I have so many friends here in the Twin Cities, and so
why not?
And I'm going to be watching. And people who say I'm not going to watch anymore, oh come on, what else are we going to do?
Right? Exactly. It's football.
So let's get there. Let's go to the Super Bowl. So instead of the ordinary, instead of the usual, I mean, this is a big game. If you're not going to the game, you're going to be watching it at home. Why not make something different? I have a brand new, just launched a new website. Right on the homepage, there's a thing that says Game Day.
Easy.
Yeah,
Game Day.
You're going to find it. Those are some of my favorites. So everybody loves chili, right? I mean, I'm not saying chili is not a great thing to do. I've got a ton of chili recipes on my Game Day, but why not change it up? This is a quick and easy taco soup and bonus, it's a little bit lighter for the new year. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
January resolution.
And if your kids like tacos, who doesn't like tacos?
Everybody
It's
loves
all
tacos.
the flavor of tacos, and it's easy in a soup. So the first thing I did is I started browning 2 pounds of ground beef, ground chicken, or ground turkey. I'm using ground turkey today.
Okay.
Thank you.
All
Because,
right.
you know, if you're going to make a swap, that's an easy one. When you're switching up ground beef for ground turkey or chicken in a chili or this soup recipe, nobody's going to know.
Right.
And you have to cook it for less by any chance, or is it pretty much the same?
Pretty much the same, but notice there's not a bit of grease to drain there. You know what I mean? And we're going to add so much flavor to it. So I'm going to add some onion. And these days, I'm all about shortcuts. You can go to the grocery store and you can buy pre-chopped onion, pre-chopped green pepper. There's a lot of shortcuts.
I don't want to cry. I don't like crying and cutting onions.
I'm all about shortcuts. Hey, you're cooking.
Yeah.
You can take help where you can get it, right?
My dad would never let me do that. He said it would build character for me. I gotta sit
Gotta
there and
cry.
manually just absolutely do it.
Well, you know what, Pierre? You cut the onion.
Yeah, you
No problem.
go blame Coco.
I'm just saying, if you don't have time, they've got so much stuff. You hit the salad bar at the grocery store. They've got stuff chopped up for you there, too.
True.
All right, 2 fun ingredients to take this soup to the next level. One, it's a taco soup. We're going to add taco seasoning.
I'm
We've
familiar
cut
with that
Why do
seasoning.
they make these packets so darn hard to open?
Always.
And then here's a crazy one. This is a packet of dry ranch dressing mix. And I add this to like mashed potatoes, I add it to a bunch of different recipes. It's got a lot of great flavor. Who doesn't like ranch, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so it's going to add so much flavor to this soup, and it's another shortcut.
I made a mess. It's
That's
fine.
okay, no
Don't
problem.
worry.
So from this point, we're a dump and go recipe. Get those onions and the peppers kind of going a little bit, and now we're just going to dump some stuff in here. Stuff that you probably already have in your pantry. This is salsa. This is a big jar for
giant
about
thing of salsa.
Yeah, I do about a half of this.
Half of
One of
it,
the
okay.
smaller jars. If you make your own, can your own, that'd be great.
All right.
2 smaller cans or 1 big can, diced tomatoes. And this is another shortcut. I noticed at the grocery store today, chili ready. Means
Okay.
These already have even more seasoning.
Even
so
better.
Are those
Okay.
spicy?
No,
Or are they just seasoned?
no, not at all. They're just seasoned.
Not
And-
even Minnesota spicy?
No, no.
I'm
no.
okay if it's
Yeah.
spicy, by the way.
No, you're good. You're good. Another thing that's not spicy but adds so much flavor: canned green chilies.
Chili, okay.
I love adding some beans, and these are just either chili beans, which again, more seasoning. You can drain and rinse pinto beans, black beans. If you're not a bean person, leave it out. The other thing I like to add sometimes, corn, because kids like corn, and that's something a little
Sure.
different.
Oh, yeah, just a can of corn?
Yeah, canned or frozen.
Okay.
And then some chicken stock. And I'm just going to let that simmer for a little bit. But tons of great recipes like this for game day on my website. I also put together a whole section. Like, winter is long, right? I mean, it's like,
Telling me, yeah.
one of the
Oh, Lord.
things I do to change things up is I create new recipes and try new recipes. Get out of that recipe rut, make weekdays a little more fun. So right on my homepage, I've got a whole section that says recipes to warm you up for winter. And I've
Love
got
it.
some really, really fun ones.
Love it.
Hot dishes.
Yeah.
Slow cooker recipes. I do this dessert that is called a triple chocolate mess. You do it in your slow cooker, and it is like
Hello, Mama.
Okay.
chocolate, serious chocolate. I
Okay.
used to make it when the kids were little for sleepovers,
Yeah.
and then the parents would call me the next day and be like, "What was
Where
that
did you
recipe?"
get that?
Yes, yeah. What was the recipe? So check out the website. I also have a newsletter. It's free. I send you out new recipes every week.
yeah.
So
Perfect.
okay, the fun thing about this soup is just like you do a chili bar, we're gonna do
Just
a
have the
taco
taco bar.
fixins bar.
I love it.
So some of the fun things to put on here. I never met Mexican food that
I
didn't
know,
like sour cream.
we're going to get to this one.
Yes.
I promise
Cheese,
everybody.
tortilla
Yeah.
chips.
I'm going to add avocado to mine personally.
Yes,
We've
yes.
got more, by the way, cooking
The
mom.
ultimate sandwich for game day.
There you go. We've got more.
Like that.
More of that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Stay by. Stay by. See you by. Stand by.
Stand by, everybody.
See you in a minute. I'm just worried.
Welcome back, everybody. We are back cooking with the Cooking Mom, and we're talking game day recipes.
Now, before we get to the sandwiches,
Yes.
how long are we cooking this? And then what is all this yumminess?
Well,
all
those
about?
are the taco fixings. So I just made this taco soup. It's just simmering. It's pretty quick. It's like 10 to 15 minutes. You can make
What?
it ahead.
That's it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's quick. Even if you don't make this for the game, make it another night. The kids will love it. Watch them light up when they come home from school and they're like, "What's for dinner?" And you say, "Taco soup." And
They're like,
Yeah,
"What?"
yes. Or change up Taco Tuesday and do taco soup instead. But
that.
go crazy on the fixings. These are just the tortilla strips. You can make your own. Just olive oil on tortillas into strips with the pizza cutter. Season them, bake them, or
Oh, easy.
hit that crouton aisle. They've got them already ready for you. Sour cream, shredded cheese. You said avocado.
Always.
Even shredded lettuce, jalapeno peppers, and then everybody can load up their bowl, and that's fun,
Yeah.
and that gets kids excited about cooking. And winter's a good time to get those kiddos and grandkids into the kitchen. I always say if you don't teach them to cook, they're never going to learn how. So.
Very
Yes.
fair.
true.
Yes,
Very fair
yes.
point.
Okay, taco soup and sandwiches.
Yes. So every game day party, lots of dips and munchies, right?
Yep.
Some sort of a soup, chili, something like that, and a big messy sandwich. I mean, we're not talking dainty finger sandwiches here.
Nope.
It's got to be
Sloppy.
messy, ooey, and gooey. This is the ultimate baked hot ham and cheese. You're saying, okay, everybody does hot ham and cheese. Not like this.
Okay.
Not like this.
You got my attention.
The secret is the spread.
Okay.
Softened butter. I'm going to have you actually use a fork and
Okay,
kind of mush it
perfect.
up a little bit.
Okay.
I just
Mush
popped
it,
Okay,
Peter.
mush it.
at room
Mush it
temperature
real
or
good.
pop it in the microwave for like 5 seconds. I don't want it melted. Now we're gonna add some mayonnaise, real mayonnaise, not the
Okay.
other stuff. You
Not
know what
the
the
light,
other,
the real stuff?
Yeah, well, you could do light, but I don't want you to use
Oh, no.
the salad dressing. Yeah, don't use that for this.
Okay.
A little bit of Dijon mustard, or
Okay.
if you like, I don't like to do too much because some people don't like it. So
Oh, just because it's a really distinct
yeah,
flavor?
yeah. You could always do more mustard on the side.
Lucky for you, I do like Dijon
Okay, well,
mustard, so
we've got
yeah,
more
this
for
is
you.
good.
And then a little bit of garlic salt. So mush that together.
Okay.
Go
We
to
love
the
garlic salt. We call it the special sauce
I
in
do
our
too.
house.
Or garlic powder if you're watching your salt. I got these buns. They look like footballs. How cute is
They
that?
are so
I know.
cute.
I
Look
know.
at these things.
And they were right at the grocery store. They're Boleros. But any kind of a nice bun from the bakery. Get a good bun, man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. If you're doing burgers or brats, don't be getting those wimpy soft.
Do you not trust me with a knife, Amy? Because
Well-
my husband also doesn't trust me with a knife.
I just don't. I know Jason,
Yeah.
and we don't trust him with knives.
No, we do not.
Blenders,
corks,
yes,
beer.
nothing. A
There's a beer
yeah,
explosion
oh,
here.
all the time. Okay, so how's that spread coming?
I
Okay.
think it's
So
good.
that's how it's supposed to look.
Okay,
now,
good.
You want a good schmear, okay?
Oh, wow,
Kendall?
that is
I mean,
a big
I mean, you
schmear.
could do less. We had healthy soup, so we're,
We had healthy. Oh, there's more.
Yes, on both sides. On both
Okay,
sides.
okay.
Go to the deli, get some nice ham, or if you're doing a ham, like ham after the holidays, they're on sale. This is a great way to use leftover ham.
Oh,
so
nice.
pick up a big ham, load it up with. If you are getting it from the deli, I like it shaved. I
Yes,
don't like.
I agree.
I mean, I get the good stuff,
Yeah.
and then some Swiss cheese. Now, here's the fun part about this.
Does it have to be Swiss?
No, any kind of. No, I just love that classic ham and Swiss. But no, whatever cheese floats your boat, Kendall. What kind of cheese do you like?
I like Gouda.
Oh,
And brie.
Yeah, that would be.
And
that-
cheddar.
Okay, that would be amazing.
And
Havarti,
everything.
all
All
of that,
the things,
all of it. Yes.
basically.
Okay, so here's the fun part. You want to wrap every single one of these in foil. All right.
Oh, that's like the clutch.
Yes, and
Okay.
that way they're going to be melty, ooey, and gooey. They're not going to over toast, and you get them on a big cookie sheet in the oven. If you're going to the game tailgating, you throw these on the grill in direct heat. So they're great for tailgating.
Now we're talking.
Okay, and the bun gets toasty. I want you to open those up,
Oh,
but I want
thank
you to
God.
be
We love
careful.
toast
waiting long
Be
enough.
careful.
I mean,
Be careful. And I
very
think
clear,
soup's
Kendall.
on here.
What, you need me to
Because
open
they're
it
gonna be
for
hot,
you too?
and I want-
No, you're the eater, remember?
I want you
I'm
to-
the eater? Okay.
Like-
What a tough job I have.
I want to see the ooey gooey.
Oh yeah. Like,
Oh,
you see,
yeah.
You see it,
Ooey
like,
And
right
it's that
here?
spread.
Look at
That
that.
I'm telling
cheese.
you, it's the ultimate hot ham and cheese sandwich.
Oh.
Have you ever tried this with a chicken or a turkey? I know people love ham, but if you don't eat ham, is it just as good?
Oh, you know what? Yes. Well, you're making my life difficult. I don't want
And the-
Swiss.
the-
I want. No, I'm kidding.
The cheese is. Look how melted it is.
Yeah.
The cheese
my
is
mother.
stuck,
Yes,
stuck to
yes.
the paper. Like I can test run this, right?
Yeah,
let's
we're
do
good?
it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay. Thank goodness. All right.
Mim loves when you have your mouth full on TV.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah.
That sauce. Was
Ooey
I know.
gooey.
I know.
Oh.
Kendall, turkey would work great.
It would?
I mean, I'd maybe leave out the mustard.
Okay.
Roast beef would be fabulous too. It's
Oh, roast beef, that's a good idea.
tons of great big messy sandwiches on my website. So check it out.
right.
TheCookingMom.com.
Oh, we love it.
Amy, yesterday we were on the.
Your mouth is full and you're talking.
Sorry,
You should do that.
Yesterday on the show we were talking about how my cholesterol is too high.
Yeah.
But
Whoopsies.
right now I don't care.
I'm gonna tell
Soup's
Lindsay.
on, by the way.
You can have the soup, by the way. Hey, be sure to check out.
Yeah. I'm
like
gonna have another
Amy's
bite,
been
by the
talking.
way.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
gonna go.
Yeah.
So I'll
Yeah.
read all this, even though it says Pierre. Check out her newsletter for free recipes every week, and check out her redesigned website, as Amy said, thecookingmom.com. We're gonna eat. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody.
You recovering? Doing okay?
That sandwich that Amy made for us in the previous segment was so good.
So
It
good.
was so good. All right, everybody, it's time for the world's shortest segment. Good news for burger fans like me on the East Coast and possibly the Midwest. In-N-Out Burger, yes indeed, is opening a new hub in Tennessee along with several restaurants. Right now, the California-based company only has locations on the West Coast and Southwest. In-N-Out says more expansion is possible, which means we could one day see the chain here in Minnesota or Wisconsin.
Woke
I cannot
The
wait for
California
that.
boy is really
Yes,
excited.
Yes. And all you people who say it's overrated, you're wrong. Leave. We'll be right
But
back.
stay
everybody.
here. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. Great audience. Appreciate you. You know what time it is. Time for the surprise to buy. Okay, today a new trend in ice cream, but it has nothing to do with strange flavors or good toppings. Instead, it's how customers get the frozen treat. Ketchin Ice Cream recently opened in New York. Their gimmick is they throw you your ice cream order.
No.
What?
No.
Basically, employees get a big scoop and throw it across the room for customers to catch in a bowl. A TikTok star opened the store after getting a big following while working at a Cold Stone creamery. Good on you. Videos are circulating showing people catching the ice cream and plenty more not catching it and missing out.
Yeah. Why?
What?
Why?
Okay, we always read this and then I can't watch it. So, oh yeah, look at that. I feel like if you
Wow.
catch it, you should get something special. You know what I mean? Other than just the ice cream.
There's no way I would catch that. It would get all over my clothes. I would be upset.
Only a TikTok person would come up with
Yeah,
this, and then it
fair
would be
enough.
like super popular because of them.
Hey, Kendall,
Oh no, is this a dad joke?
how much does the chimney cost?
Fire-free, soot, snuffing, I don't know. Smoke?
Free. It's on the house. She pretends to hate it. Tomorrow on the show, Stephanie Hansen shares the recipe for her favorite cocktail, the French 75. Plus, she visits the spot where she first fell in love with the drink.
Hey, and more dad jokes.
Last
That's all
one of the week.
tomorrow.
Thanks,